Mackenzie, thank you. In response to the shutdown and food assistance delays in just a couple of days, area lawmakers are highlighting the effects that shutdown is having on Wisconsin. Nearly 700,000 Wisconsinites in the state are on FoodShare, including 260,000 kids. According to numbers from the State Fiscal Bureau, it could cost the state $114 million a month to feed families who use SNAP.
The federal government shutdown means uncertainty and fear to many of our constituents. It means uncertainty and fear for our food banks. It means uncertainty and food for our shelves being depleted, but most importantly, quicker than they can even restock them.
If the state were to fund SNAP benefits in Wisconsin, it would not get reimbursed by the federal government now or later because of the way things are structured.